सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधाजलधे महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं। ఈరోజు పూజ్య today's పూజ్య గురుదేవ్ జీ's ఆరాధన డే. So we just chant Sri Chinmaya Ashtakam for 2-3 minutes, then start our class. Om Omkara Sunamakarandara Sampibantam Adhyatma Bhrungamavanital Bhagya Shrungam Ananda Purnamatima Pratima Prabhavam Shri Chinmayam Guruvaram Hrudi Bhavayami Unmiladambujadalayatamuగ్ధనేత్రం उत्तप्तनिर्मलसुवर्णसमानगात्रं उन्निद्रभक्तजनमानसराजहंसं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि आयामरम्यभुजदण्डगभीररूपं मायान्धकारविनिवारणभद्रदीपं मुद्रादरिद्रकरुणावरुणाधिवासं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि धावल्यमञ्जुलमृदुस्मितकान्तिपूरं विस्मारिताखिलपदानतदुःखभारम् आताम्रशोभनपरिच्छदसंवृताङ्गं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि विज्ञानसारवचनामृतजह्नुकन्या निःशेषधौतभवकिल्बिषमुन्नतांसं श्रीखण्डमण्डितमनोज्ञविशालबालं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि सान्दीपनीतिभुवनप्रथितं प्रशान्तम् अध्यासितं परममङ्गलमालयाग्र्यं श्रीमत्तपोवनतपोधनुशिष्यवर्यं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि कल्याणशीतलकटाक्षनिरीक्षणेन तापत्रयप्रशमनैकपरं सुधीरं प्रज्ञानवारिधितरङ्गविहारलोलं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि नानापुराणनिगमागमतत्त्वविज्ञं साक्षात्कृतप्रणवसारमुदारभावं संसारघोरतरकाननदाववह्निं श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि श्रीचिन्मयं गुरुवरं हृदि भावयामि। Let us just remember the wonderful, divine Devata Rishi form of our Puja Gurudev in our heart. Let us salute him by uttering his name thrice. Om Shri Chinmayananda Saraswati Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmayananda Saraswati Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmayananda Saraswati Sadgurave Namaha. Let us offer the flowers at his feet, Naivedyam, Mangala Arati. Look into his face and eyes and feel that he is looking into our eyes and guiding us, inspiring us, blessing us, and assuring us that he is with us all the time to see that we are on the Adhyatmika Marga continuously. Remember once Puja Gurudev's relentless, tireless, continuous, constant, hard working life every moment. He never spared any of his efforts, even a moment, throughout his life, before he took sannyasa, after he took sannyasa. Let that relentless, continuous work of Gurudev become the inspiration for all of us. Ultimately, what Puja Gurudev wanted from all of us are only these 4 5 things. Follow your life's duties, dharma, be patriot and serve the nation in Sanatana Dharma, study the Shastras under the guidance of the Guru Acharya Parampara, digest and experience the essence of the Shastras, that is the Paramatma Tattva, and then do your bit of seva in spreading the Shastra Jnana all over, through which again the Vyavahara Dharma and Sanatana Dharma are established. These are the few things Puja Gurudev has done, and this is what he wants all of us to do. He has done his all Vyavaharika Dharma. He served the nation with his patriotism. Throughout life, his only mission was to serve the Sanatana Dharma, Vaidika Samskruti. Himself thoroughly studied the Shastras under the guidance of Bhagavan Maharaj Shivaranji and also Paramguru Tapon Maharaj. Himself got established into that experience. Sakshat Kruta Pranava Saram. Having experienced it, came down from the Himalayas to the plains like Mother Ganges and went on throughout life, served the entire living beings, humanity, through the Shastra Jnana Prachara. There was no second work Puja Gurudev has taken up. Only work of the Prachara of the Jnana which is there in all our Shastras. And in that also we have selected the Moksha Shastras of Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and all those Prakaranas which indicate to us the final Purushartha, the Moksha, and how to attain it. So, along with remembering Puja Gurudev, remembering his Leelas, along with doing Upasana to him, along with taking his name, along with chanting his stotras, what makes him most happy, what makes his grace to be invoked on ourselves is our committed, sincere, regular study of Shastras, contemplation on what is given there, nearing to the truth in experience as much as possible. And while doing so, doing whatever is possible from our side in spreading the scriptural knowledge to all the beings. If we are speakers, speak on the Shastra. If not, organize such activities, programs for the children, for the youth, for the middle aged, for the retired, for the senior citizens. Organize such programs through which they are taught what a great, grand, glorious Jnanam is given in our Shastras by our Rishis and Munis, studying and following which not only we come out of all our problems, not only we come out of all our lethargies, lazinesses, dullness, etc., but we will be finding a highest goal in our life, seeking that and reaching that goal, we experience the fulfillment of our life. Such is the glory of Shastras, that Shastra Rakshanam is the one Sri Gurudev Ji has taken as the mission, and that is what our great humble offering at his feet, if we can also do. Ourselves listening the Shastra, ourselves studying Shastra, ourselves understanding and living up to it, trying to experience the truth, along with not only as he has done, helping in the communicating of the Shastra Jnanam to the people around in whatever the way we can do. If that is done, it is the greatest wonderful tribute or respect or reverences or gratitude or prayers or upasanas or surrender we could do to our Puja Gurudev. ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदे साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्याद्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव त्वमेव शरणं गुरुदेवदेव. In this way, today's day fully by remembering Puja Gurudev and his work, his contribution, his blessing, his guidance, his message, and by studying the books given by him to us, let us dedicate today's entire day to Puja Gurudev. Not only today, but every moment of every day, the entire life, let it be an humble offering at His feet. May He permeate our lives. May He express through our lives to fulfill whatever the mission He and the entire Guru Parampara wants to accomplish through us. Om Shri Chinmayananda Sadguru Charanam Sharanam Prabhadye. Om Shri Chinmayananda Sadguru Charanam Sharanam Prabhadye. Om Shri Chinmayananda Sadguru Charanam Sharanam Prabhadye. Such great masters, time and again, are sent by the Lord, and when they come relentlessly, without any tiredness or exhaustion, throughout their presence on the earth, they keep on guiding the entire humanity toward the highest of the Purusharthas, the Moksha Purushartha, through the Karma Yoga, Yoga, Bhakti and Jnana. They are the mobile Tirtharaja, Mudamangalamaya, Santa Samaju, Jay Jagajangama Tirtharaja. Now, when we come into their contact, we come across them and they enter our life by surrendering and following what they say. We should make maximum use and you should get maximum benefits and blessings from them for our own lives fulfillment. And may we remain as the humble sevaka servant, devotee disciple at the feet of such great masters and the Lord all the time. May all the Guru Parampara, the Parama Gurus, Gurudev, and everybody be always with us to bless us. Om Samasta Brahma Vidya Acharyebhyo Namaha Rishibhyo Namaha Munibhyo Namaha Gurubhyo Namaha Devatabhyo Namaha Om Shri Brahma Vidya Shruti Matre Namaha Om Shri Parabrahmane Namaha Om Shri Vedavyasa Sadgurave Namaha Om Shri Vaishampayana Sadgurave Namaha Om Shri Agnivalkya Sadgurave Namaha Om Shri Adya Shankaracharya Sadgurave Namaha Om Shri Chinmayananda Saraswati Sadgurave Namo Namaha. Let our day and days to come be full of our devotional surrender and sincere study and sadhana filled days. Now let us do our today's Parayanam of Taittiriya Upanishad. We will be doing in the Bhruguvalli the Sadachara Pradarsanam. And all this will be our humble offering to Puja Gurudev continuously. Om Atha Shri Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriya Upanishad Parayanam Shri Shruti Matuhu Parabrahmanaha Guru Paramparaya Parayaha Prityartham Tesham Anugaradvarena Upanishadukta Brahma Vidyanubhava Praptyartham Asmin Kshane Eva Om Om Sadachara Prashamsa. This is the 10th mantra in Bhruguvalli. Bhruguvalli is the third Valli in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Last one, in fact, it is in this Upanishad. Om na kanchana vasato pratyachaksheta tadvratam tasmad yaya kaya cha vidhaya bahvannam prapnuyat aradhyasma annamityachakshate etadvai mukhatonagam radham mukhatosma annagam radhyate etadvai madhyatonnagam radham madhyatosma annagam radhyate etadva antatonnagam radham antatosma annagam radhyate ya evam veda kshema iti vache yogakshema iti pranapanayoh karmeti hastayoh gatiriti padayoh विमुक्तिरिति पायो इति मानुषे समाज्ञाः अथ दैवी तृप्तिरिति वृष्टौ बलमिति विद्युते यश इति पशुषो ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरमृतमानन्द इत्युपस्थे सर्वमित्याकाशे तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासेत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति तन्मह इत्युपासेत महान् भवति तन्मन इत्युपासेत मानवान् भवति तन्नम इत्युपासेत नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासेत ब्रह्मवान् भवति तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासेत पर्येणं म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः पर्ये प्रिया भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवंविद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्नीकामरूप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत् सामगायन्नास्ते हा वो हा वो हा वो अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदहग्ग श्लोककृदहग्ग श्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य ना भाई यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवां सुवर्णज्योतिः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ अतः श्रीकृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ओमथ प्रथमा शिक्षावल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः प्रार्थनामन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्भक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ सप्तमोऽनुवाकः ॐ पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं द्यौर्दिशो वान्तरदिशाः अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यधिभूतम् अथाध्यात्मं Prano vyano pana udana samanaha chakshushrotram manovaktvak charma magasaggasnavasti majja etadadi vidhaya rushiravochata panktam va idagum sarvam pankte naiva panktagga spurnotiti om shanti shanti shanti. Having saluted the entire Rishi, Guru, Muni, Devata, Parampara, Parabrahma Tattva, Guru Maharaj, Shruti Mata, we are into now the Saptama Anuvakam. It is talking to us about the Pangta Upasana. First, let us again and again remember the meaning of the Upasana. Meaning of Upasana is whatever the information, knowledge we gain and get convinced about it, the practice of that at our thought level so continuously, constantly, without allowing any dissimilar thoughts, cancelling thoughts, in such a way that what we have heard as an information, what we have made as a conviction, has become a thought free or has become a powerful conviction and experience in us in such a way that we never forget it. That is called as the Upasana. As we saw yesterday, the authentic jnanam of the Shastras, having logically thought over, got convinced in ourselves, and doing the thought level practice of it continuously, constantly, without even once allowing any dissimilar thoughts till we fully establish in the habit and nature of that particular aspect is called upasana. In this general terms of definition of the upasana, in our life whatever we are living is upasana only, and then in our life whatever the best things, better things we have to do and achieve, what therefore we are expected to do is called upasana. Therefore, everything, the serving of parents becomes an upasana. When you constantly remember their contribution in our life right from the birth. And having remembered all those their contribution to us, when I reciprocate through my service respect to them, this is called as the Mata Pitru Upasana. So too the brothers and sisters Upasana. Shastra told that they are the ones who came to your life to make your life beautiful. Each one is contributing in one way or the other to your life. So receive it, acknowledge it, extend gratitudes and reciprocate. All that continuous constant idea is upasana. In that way, at every moment of our life, first, before we enter into spirituality, we have to live the life of upasana only. Same habit of upasana we continue when we enter into spirituality. And once we enter into spirituality, here now the upasana is of the sublime themes. The upasana of all the Adhisthana Devatas, upasana of the Guru Tattva, Guru Maharaj, upasana of the Shastra, upasana of the Mahat Tattva Hiranyagarbha. Finally, it is the Parabrahma upasana. Clear? So throughout life is upa, near, asana, sitting. To the dharma which we have to do, to the devotion which we have to have, to the knowledge which we have to gain, to the experience when we get liberated. To that experience, we have to go upa and asana get established in that. Upa asana is in the beginning days coming nearer and sitting. At all other explanations level, Upasana is coming near and sitting and getting basked in the grace of those divinities in whose nearness we sat. At the ultimate level, the Upa, then Asana doesn't mean sitting near, but nearer, and then merging in the absolute truth. Therefore, when it comes to absolute truth, Paramatma, merging in him itself is the upasana. In other cases, coming nearer and nearer through all the devotion and worships, so that we are basking in the gracious blessings of those powerful beings. It can be anything greater than, diviner than us. So we spoke about the parents, we spoke about the family members, and then there are friends, upasana of the friends. There are relatives, upasana of the relatives. There is the office, the bosses, the colleagues, subordinates. Everyone is contributing in our life, upasana. The upasana is an attitude of remembering everyone's contribution in our life, extending gratitudes and reciprocating from our side with whatever we can, we must, we should do as per the law or as per the Shastra. So there is an upasana of every jiva in this world. There is upasana of, at a larger level, the what do you call, of the Prakriti itself. Without Prakriti we can't live. So wherever we go, the road, we can respect it. It is an upasana of the road which is helping us to cross the distance. The traffic rules, we have to respect them, and that is our upasana there. The trees and plants provide us oxygen, food, eatables. It is an upasana to them. The mothers, the rivers, which are sustaining our life, saluting the rivers and protecting them, allowing them to be neat and clean, is our upasana. So everything in this way in the world, the Akasha Upasana, the Agni Upasana, the Prithvi Upasana, the Jala Upasana, the Vayu Upasana, the Forest Upasana, the entire flora and fauna Upasana. Also, Upasana is an attitude. My Sevaka, Rupa, Sasarasara, Swami, Bhagavanta. The entire of Sacharasara is Bhagavan's Rupa. I am a Upasaka. I am a Sevaka. I am a Das. So slowly in this way, here the Vedantic practice and their devotion practice almost come together and merge. Okay, so in every of the Anubhakam, in this particular Upanishad, in the first Valli, we are taught various Upasanas. And this Upasana should not remain as theory. Do it, reach to that stage, and see the joyful benefit of it. Like when I do the Upasana of you all, such wonderful audience, early morning, come and sit and feel that gratitude to you, feel that thankfulness to you, and if possible, pray to the Lord to give you long, healthy life and all. Who is benefited? It is me whose mind becomes expanded, mind becomes beautified, mind becomes painted, colored with such a wonderful emotions, and mind is divinized. You will not even know that I am this way, extending my gratitudes to you, prayers for you. But I am benefited out of it. Is it not? In this way, wherever we are sitting there, closing the eyes, feel the presence of everyone who contributed to our life and extend the gratitudes and prayers for their well being. This is called Upasana. In this way, continuously we are tuning with the totality and being blessed by, helped by the totality. More important than that is the cocooning, the total binding which we were having in our life because of ourself totally identified with all the ego and arrogance, with our own individuality. From those clutches we come out. What is whole spiritual journey and sadhana and fulfillment? Only this much. Throwing away this small ego into the ocean and identifying with the total big individuality. That's it, आध्यात्मिक साधना. छोटे हम को छोड़ना, बड़े अहम से एक होना. उपाधि युक्त हमको छोड़ना, निरुपाधिक महापर ब्रह्म से एक होना. एक उपाधि युक्त छोटे को छोड़ना, समष्टि उपाधि युक्त समष्टि उपाधि युक्त हिरण्यगर्भ से एक होना और शरणागत होना. This is called the entire spirituality. These all upasanas help us to do it. In other words, if the upasanas are not done, then we intensify, strengthen our ego. We intensify, strengthen our differences, differentiation with everybody. We intensify our own inner negativities of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha. We intensify our life of utter samsara, and we always keep away ourselves from the adhyatmic sadhana. This is the only thing called as upasana which helps us to save ourselves from all these shortcomings or downfalls. सो गिरने से बचाता है और आगे बढ़ने में मदद करता है. एक ही चीज है, द एटीट्यूड ऑफ उपासना. मैं उपासक हूँ, सारा जगत उपास्य देव है, और ये मेरा जो सेवा है ये जगत का उपासना. Okay, and after not only it is done in emotional manner, which is in the beginning very much required, later on that emotional upasana is done with the intellectual understanding as background. What is intellectual understanding here? Through this upasana, we are raising our individual upadhi and identify the total upadhi. After that, in the total upadhi also, from the stula to the sukshma to the karana, we are rising in our identity. After that, all the upadhis we transcend to become one with the nirupadhika parabrahma. In all the literature of upasanas, in all the guidance given by the books or the teachers of upasana, do the upasana with all emotion and all worships, get from them the blessings, whatever you want. This much is told, but the next step, that the true upasana, from the Veshti to Samashti, from the gross to the subtle, thereafter, beyond all the manifestation, we have to reach to the unmanifest but eternally present Nama Rupa Rahita Nirgunam Brahma, which is the ultimate goal indicated by the Upanishads. That is what is our goal. Many of them miss to share. This is the extra addition in the Upanishads. Here also the Upasana is said, but we are not stopped only at the Upasaka, Upasya, Veda Yukta Upasana level. Later on, the ultimate Upasana is of Parabrahma. In that Upasana, the final stage is ourselves becoming one with Him. And in the particular this Upasana, the Vedic Upasana and the Pauranic Upasana, in the Pauranic Upasana, either Upasaka is always kept away or separate or different from the Upasya Deva. And I always remain a humble servant at his feet, and being blessed by him, my life goes on wonderfully. But when you are studying this Vedika Upasana, if you see, it is not that I am only serving the Agni Deva, but I become one with Agni. Not that I am serving only Vayu Deva, I become one with Vayu. Not that only I am serving Aditya, but I become one with him. Is it not? Bhu iti Agnau Pratishtati, Bhuvariti Vayo Pratishtati, Svahiti Aditye, Mahiti Brahmani. Then, not you are anymore servant. Apnoti Svarajyam, Apnoti Manasaspatim, Vakpati, Chakshushpati. See that? No more always you remain as a beggar, but you become one with total and yourself become the giver only. This is the glory of the Upanishadika guidance even of Upasana to lift us to the giver level from the receiver level. This is missed in the other upasanas. In other upasanas, always we do upasana Bhagwan, Rama or Krishna or Devi or Ganapati or Shiva, and bless me with this and that. That is also very good. That is also so beautiful. In any day, any case, in any form, when we worship the Lord with devotion and seek His blessings, guidance, it is always good, great, nobler. In fact, such conviction, such practice is a sign of great maturity. Wonderful it is. But the next two levels are, with all the Upasya Devatas, we can become one. But yet, that also is Upadhi Yukta, therefore it is not the ultimate. Therefore, the next ultimate level is all the Upasya Devatas. They are the expression of that Nirguna one without second Parabrahma. Our final goal is that. Our final goal is to become one with that Parabrahma through meditation. Never ever forget it. No, suddenly it won't happen. Systematically, step by step, we evolve. In all the Upanishads, straight away with Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada, when we go, we are taught about the Mahavakya and little of preparation and sadhana. In this Taittiriya Upanishad, right from beginning, the Guru is holding us by hand and through teaching us Upasana Paddhatis and making us Upadana, he is ensuring himself that we are involving. You evolve or not, I am teaching. It is your life. Go. This is how the other Upanishads guide. In this Upanishad, no, no, no. You are with me and I am monitoring your Upasana, your sadhana, and you have to follow and do it in front of my eyes. Only when I am assured that you have gone to the next level, that I will guide you in the next level of sadhana. In this way, like a kind, compassionate companion, yukta teaching, the Guru here is helping. And you and I, without getting distracted by any other information gathered from any of the authentic sources, stick to only this Upanishad and only this Upanishadic guidance exclusively for the sadhana. We can definitely see the transformation happens in us from a mere samsari through a sadhaka, through the upasaka, through the identity with the Mahat Brahma Ityadi, up to the Parabrahma Atma level. What happens in our life is, whenever we are getting this type of Shastra guidance, our mind runs into the guidance which gained from the other Shastras, which heard from the other Gurus. Then both of them either clash with each other, comparison will happen, some or the other Maya happens by which neither we practice that nor we practice this. This problem always is there for everyone. We have to recognize it. If you are able to study all Shastras and find the common theme, Ekavakyata, that is taught in all of them, and cull out of them with your own genius the sadhana to be done to reach the Siddhi, then you are a highly evolved student. If that is not done, then hold on to one Guru and hold on to one Upanishad or such Grantha and get guided by him in that Grantha and all the sadhanas that are mentioned in them. Keep on relentlessly, seriously, sincerely, regularly practicing them and reach out. Once you reach out, then when you look back and see and study any of the Upanishad, in and through what you see is the same theme, same goal indicated by each of the Rishi Muni to in different form to the disciples of at that time. एक बात साधना सिद्धि एक ही होता है, बताने वाले प्रक्रियाएं थोड़ा फर्क होते हैं. So in this Upanishad we see the Upasana training is given again and again. Upasana is the manasika sadhana. Again and again, mind is brought to the remembrance of what is understood with the faith till that remains in the mind. Like पूज्य गुरुदेव is my guru, ऐसे कहकर छोड़ देना एक बात होता है, but every day remembering ओम श्री चिन्मयानंद सद्गुरुवे नमः, ओम अजाय नमः, अव्याय नमः, विनाशिने नमः, ओम ओंकार सोनमकरंदरसं पिबंधम. In this way, doing his stotram, taking his name, and feeling his grace in my life, knowing his greatness, and seeking his blessings for my spiritual evolution. In such way, all the time I am remembering him. That is called his upasana. At the higher level of upasana, the upasaka is never away from upasya devata, even a moment. This is the devata upasana. The other upasanas which are mentioned are how this Mahat Brahma is functioning in this world. In this upasana, we are observing that functionings and we do our contribution, whatever is required. But in the heart of ours, in the corner of our own heart or the mind, we are always tuning to Mahat Brahma's presence. Like the subordinate always should have in mind the boss gave the job, boss gave the opportunity, boss gave this work to do, and boss is the one who will appreciate if I do the work, and he is the one who will give me the salary. So though he is focusing his work, his attention on the work in hand, that also in coordination with other departments, all practically what is to be done is done. But heart in heart, he should remember who employed him. Who is giving opportunities, who is giving his salary, who is giving promotion. This is called as upasana. There's a chance to forget all that and live a selfish life of all type of hysteria. This is possible, but he's not an upasaka. So you and I also, whether it is Vyahruti Upasana, whether it is a Samhita Upasana, whether it is Onkara Upasana, at that time told for the Medha Prapti and the Sri Kamana Prapti, all the time we have to remember the respective Upasya Devatas while doing so. Clear? So, what is this theme so far taught? The Upasanas. What is Upasana? Bringing our mind in its thoughts about the what is taught about each of these great presences of Mahat Brahma in these forms. Now, the last but one was about Hridaya Akasha Sthita Mahat Brahma only in the form of Jiva experienced by us. That Jiva, having recognized him, we are taking him out of the identity from this individuality, individual upadhis, and giving him back to his original form of the totality or the Hiranyagarbha. हिरण्यगर्भ ही देह में आकर एक देह से तादात्म्य करके जीव के रूप में कर्म करते हुए फल के लिए जन्म मरण रूपी संसार में भटक रहा है. And that is you and me. Now the same jiva having recognized, instead of identifying with the upadhis like a samsari, he is ejected out of through the chakravedanam, yoga paddhati, vicharana, but finally Mahiti Brahmani, he is merged to Mahat Brahma. Before that, the intermediate stages of Agno Pratitishthati, Vayo Pratitishthati, Aditya Pratitishthati. Then Mahiti Brahmani. That was the Upasana taught to us in the 5th and 6th Anuvakas. Falashruti was exhaustively told. Now when we came to the 7th Anuvaka, most beautiful, most practical, here Bhagavan has given us the Rishi, the PAANKTHA Upasana. 6 Panktams are given to us, and like that there are hundreds and thousands of Panktams that are happening, that are working in this universe for the maintenance of the total universe at large, for the maintenance of the groups within the universe, for the maintenance of every individual, and for the maintenance of within of every individual. Like I am an individual. Within me there is something. I am an individual. Around me, about me, there is something happening. And there is mutual thing is there between me and you all. And in this way, the groups are there in this world at various level. All are put together is a universe. Okay. So in this entire universe, the Mahat Brahma, in the form of these Panktams, working to manage everything. And that we have to become very subtly aware with Shuddha Sattva Guna. In that awareness, what's happening? The individualities are dissolved at the feet of the or at the recognition of the total. The whole sadhana is this only. व्यक्ति व्यष्टि से अभिव्यक्ति समष्टि में हमें प्रवेश करना है. Why? Because the व्यक्ति is suffering. Why the Vyakti is suffering? Because of Vyaktitva. How long he will suffer? As long as the Vyaktitva is intact. How the suffering can go away? Only when the Vyaktitva is merged in the total. How long the suffering of the river will continue and when will it end? Only when it goes back and merges in the ocean. याद रख लेना इस बात को. So unless we come into the identity of the total, we cannot come out of the miseries, because the miseries experienced are because of the Vyashti Upaditadatmya Vyashti Jivana Vidhanam. And it is so vividly, clearly seen everywhere when in a group of people, when we tune to everyone and do the Vyavahar of give and take with proper rules, regulation, there is any time without any problem, there is a joy. Like between you and me, without any finding fault with you, without any scolding to you, if I do my duty of the loving communication of this knowledge to you, equally you also, without finding fault with me or hating me in your mind, with that gratitude or whatever little respect, if you tune and listen, are we not happy within ourselves? So what's happening here? We are surrendering to each other. These two, both of us are the totality here. In other case, we are together studying, but I am cocooned in my ego, you are in your own ego. Then the class will never give us any knowledge. We only suffer. That's why Ma Vidvishavahi. This is such a simple logic. It never clicks because so much we are engrossed in our identity, in our own individuality. Come out of that through the upasana. Clear? Now we will not elaborate because last 5 days doing it every day. The Pankta Upasana, the outer three Panktams are the Loka Panktam, Devata Panktam, and the third one is the Bhuta Panktam. Okay? Prithivyapas Tejo Vayur Akashaha. So the Lokapanktam is Prithivyantariksham Devar Disho Vantara Dishaha. Devata Panktam Agnir Vayur Aditya Chandrama Nakshatrani. Then the Apa Oshadaya Vanaspate Akasha Atma, it is Bhuta Panktam. Then each of them we have to take time to become aware of. This is the beginning of Upasana. Then each one's special qualities. That is second step of Upasana. Then that quality से वो कैसे totality को contribute कर रहा है, ये third Upasana. Then how one of the Panktam, one item of the Panktam is coordinating with the other item of the Panktam, that is third, fourth Upasana. Then the entire Panktam together as a unit, how it is contributing, that is the next Upasana. Then each of the panktams are related to each other, sometime or the other. That is how the totality is maintained. And in and through all these panktams, who is working? The one Hiranyagarbha, the one Mahat Brahma. This we have to keep on doing till the Mahat Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, Samashti becomes very predominant thought in us, not the individual. इंडिविजुअल से पांगतम में गए, पांगतम से मेनी पांगतम्स वी वेंट, फ्रॉम द मेनी पांगतम्स वी गो टू वन महद ब्रह्मा. So one mahad brahma only through many pankthams working. Thus, in each of the panktham and in each panktham, in the each of the individual and in each of the individual, each of every faculty, it is he only expressing. Like I am an individual, as my antakarna, as my jnanendriyas, as my karmendriyas, as my prana shakti, even as this sthula deha. Please remember, at a higher level of understanding, who is expressing is he only. It is his leela. In this way, when we do, all the undue value importance given to me by myself so far is removed. That is called liberation from the individual and his sufferings. Then, in turn, what happens? A devotional aspect will come because he alone is expressing through this. Therefore, it is his responsibility to take care of this. This, in devotional language, is called as surrender. That is called as Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yajna Pari Upasate. When you do the Upasana of the Samashti, Tesham Nitya Yuktanam Yogakshemam Vahami Aham. I'll take care of the Yogakshema. What is said in Upanishads, Taittiriya alone is said by Bhagavan Krishna in more easily understandable form. But that is more of emotional understanding, not the intellectual. If you want to understand intellectually the need of Upasana, the result of Upasana, you have to study the Vedanta Grantha only, Upanishad only. What Upanishads logically, individual cannot be without total. Angi is the one because of which the Angas are there. Without the Angi, Anga cannot be. So we are all the Anga of the Angi, the Samashti. Forgetting that we always are in loggerhead with others as well as with the Angi. That is what is the suffocation. That is the problem. We have to recognize. Remember, throughout life, it is very difficult to listen, understand, accept, and digest. I know, but still we share it. What is that? I have a problem is not correct sentence. Then I am the problem is the correct sentence. You understand it? I have a problem is not correct. I am the problem with my own upadhis identified so strongly and thinking only isolated way from the standpoint of one upadhyukta, one individuality, whereas this one can never survive without the total. कॉमन सेंस है, बिना टोटलिटी के मैं जी नहीं सकता हूं, इसलिए मेरे को जीना है टोटलिटी के साथ. कितना सिंपल पॉइंट है. This we miss. We think I have to live at the cost of total. Are Bewkuf? You can't do that. It is not the system that's working. That effort, this wrong effort, is the cause of dukkha. Why dukkha is coming? Because of the mistaken effort of doing our works for the sake of individual at the cost of total. It should be the other way around. Therefore, the liberation is what? Working for the total at the cost of individual. You are liberated. Who is liberated? एक बढ़िया question है. We'll study it in our Telugu text also today. The I who is cocooned with small upadhi is liberated. What is the liberation? He now is identified with the total upadhi. That's called liberation. And in the total upadhi identification, the arrival and departure, the capacities, the losing of capacities of the upadhis doesn't matter. समष्टि में सब बैलेंस हो जाता है. Because the whole world is made by pairs of opposite. Through the pairs of opposite, the world is managed. Therefore, it is very clearly understood at the samashti level. Then it won't be a pain. Like if I am an individual, suffer from the total. So for me, my birth, my death, in between my gains and losses, become a prestige to me, important to me. But in the totality में ऐसा नहीं है. Like one wave fighting with other wave, and one wave is feeling insecure about its own birth, growth, and death. But what about the ocean? How many waves wave every moment and go? फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता in that. By the way. So these are the Adibhautika Pankta Trayam. Then the Adhyatmika Pankta Trayam are the Vayu Panktam, Indriya Panktam, Dhatu Panktam. The Vayu Panktam was Vyano Pana Udana Samana. Then Indriya Panktam is Chakshu Shrotra Mano Vaktvako. Then the Dhatu Panktam is Charma Magam Saha Asnava Asti Majja. Now, again, we have said it 2-3 times. Again, we are repeating. What is the upasana here? Upasana is each pankta you become aware of. Then each pankta, each item you become aware of. Then how each item is contributing and total panktam is contributing through their mutual coordination. And each of the panktams are connected to each other and coordinating in the establishment or maintenance of the individual. In this way, it is not only happening in me, it is happening in every living being. And in and through every living being, through all these panktams, who is maintaining the individualities as well as totality is the Mahat Brahma. That awareness is called as Pankta Upasana. For example, the Pranopana Vyanodana Samana. Aware of jao, Prana Shakti. Because of that only, all the intakes and perceptions are possible in me, not only in me, in everyone. And in me and in everyone, in the form of Prana Shakti, through the Vayu, the Mahat Brahma alone, expressing for the sake of intake of all the perceptions. So to become aware of Apanam, Apana work is doing the throwing away of the unwanted things from the body. It is happening in me, not only in me, in everyone. So it is again the Hiranyagarbha Mahatattva only through the Vayu Shakti entering and becoming as Apana, doing this job. This way again and again remembering it called Upasana. When this is not done, either we are sleepy or we identify with our own individuality. This is called ignorance. This is called confusion. This is what delusion. We are functional individualities. We are not realistical individualities separate from total. Like every finger is functionally different, but it can never be in reality different from other fingers, total hand, total body. For example, you cut the finger and keep it there, it can't survive. But the body can survive without one finger. In the same way, I isolated from total have no meaning, no existence. If I am not there, the total is there. That is why whenever I become selfish, total removes this fellow because this fellow is redundant, he is so selfish. On the other hand, when I am thinking and working for total, total goes on providing me with all the facilities. Finally, I get identified with the total. It is like a soldier serving the general or lieutenant general. Slowly, slowly, finally, he himself becomes the lieutenant general. Through promotions in the rankings because of his services, qualifications, etc. Is it not only a soldier or any of the lieutenant colonel, but through the colonel हो गए फिर brigadier हो गए धीरे धीरे lieutenant general, major general, lieutenant general. In the same way, I identify with this upadhi only a soldier. Slowly, I work for all the upadhis totally. I become grown up. Every example we can see in the world. So now this I can't demonstrate as an exercise to you, but I can do in myself and I must do. Then only I get the benefit. Each one of us also like that. So take 1 hour time, close. Then remember the Bhuta Panktams and see their contribution and see the Hiranyagarbha, Virat Purusha, Mahatma behind that. So to look into our own inner Adi Atmaka Panktams. In the Adhyatmika Panktam, how wonderfully all these are going on. And then these are all done by the Mahatma. While doing this, what's happening? Individuality's importance is reducing, totality's importance is growing. All are part of total only. Therefore, the mutual love, trust, coordination is growing. More important than all of that, the awareness is growing. Only when the awareness of all that is happening is grown, then the question comes, what is this awareness? In the inquiry of that awareness, it is found to be the Satchidananda Brahma. Having reached that, when you look back, neither total is there, nor individual is there, nor any of the world there, apart from him, other than him. Then on him only, all this is imagined, projected only for a play. That play we took it very seriously, therefore it became samsara to us. No, see, it has a play, but it has become samsara, the Commonwealth Games, the cricket tournaments. It has become an issue to fight out and win them. And in the sports, whoever are playing the players, with the idea only as sport, not worrying about loser, loss and winner, he's always smiling. But the other fellow who makes it a prestige issue as a whole team or the individual players or entire franchise, then there's a tug of war. You can see the Commonwealth Games. Whichever the two nations are matured, winner and loser are not at all separate. You saw yesterday the Taekwondo and Judo competitions. India lost in one, another win. But the other winners are they just hugged and it's only a sport. I was very happy seeing that. In other sports also, the weightlifting, when India won, the others appreciating. In gymnastics, India lost and the others won, but they came together. In the hockey also, how we defeated all these small teams, but a very friendly gesture, 11-0, but still there is friendship. There's no enmity. इतने गोल से मुझे हराते हो ऐसा कुछ नहीं. In the cricket, when we defeated yesterday the West Indies team, what a wonderful coordination there. This sportive spirit is called as life when we are in Vyavahara. And that's possible only when we drop the individuality at the level of totality. This simple thing never clicks to us to that level of remember ego, emotions, selfishness, we are caught up. And whole world is like that, and we take that alone is a standard now. That's how each one is cocooning in himself and suffering isolated way in such a way. A point of saturation is coming out of which they either becoming criminal outside or suicidal inside. देखो दुनिया देख रहे कि नहीं? When the attitude is of totality, what is the need of becoming criminal or suicide? The criminality is the Russia attacking this stupid, this Ukraine. And the suicidal inside is, you can see what happened in Sri Lanka. पूरे देश को आत्महत्या हो गया वहां because of isolation, individuality. All national, international problems can be understood only from the spiritual standpoint correctly. So too, the solutions also can be spiritual standpoint. So spirituality gives the attitude and the worldliness gives the practical aspect. Get this attitude, do practically outside, free from isolations, individualities, live at the total level. There are no problems, no fears. When we, with this understanding, the psychological borders, when we eliminate, then the outer borders are only academical, only vyavahara. They have no issues, problems to create. Otherwise, one drone flies in that sky, immediately they become alert and then international community they inform कि they are attacking us. अरे यार ये क्या हो रहा है? चार पांच मछुआरे उधर गए, कब्जा कर लिए. See the India, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, everyday issue it is. अरे यार मछली पकड़ रहे हैं जानबूझकर अनजाने में गए वहां. See India, China, Pakistan border. Some people went into that forest and they capture our people. Then we have to request they are released. See how cocooned the world with more and more scientific growth in their own selfishness. Only philosophy, spirituality can be the solution. There's no other way. Okay. Now, by the way, having this way given us an idea of how to sacrifice the individuality at the level, uh, at the altar of the totality, this is what is visualized by a Rishi. Thus, anybody who visualizes this and lives life like that is a Rishi by himself in that highest bliss and becomes a beacon light as well as inspiration for all others. That is what is in the last portion of this particular Anuvaka, which we will study now. So, what is there here in the main mantra? After the outer Adibhutika teen Pankta and inner Adhyatmika three Panktas are told, then the Rishi or the Shruti Mata says, Etadadhi vidhaya rushiravochatu Panktam va idagum sarvam Pankte naiva Panktagga spnotiti. This is what. एतत् अधिविधाय ऋषि अवोचत. Having fully very well becoming aware, having very well fully understanding, and himself living life for a sufficient time for the sake of totality, a rishi has experienced in himself the joy and peace born out of living for totality through the Pankta and Mahatbrahma Upasana, and that same Rishi has visualized that the entire manifest world is intact only because of the Panktams. With his that realization, like any of the scientists, first he imagines, he conceives, then slowly he sees the possibilities, then he goes on experimenting. One day, through all the trial methods, whatever he conceived or thought of, to that nearest resolution he comes. Whatever the hypothesis he proposed, he comes to the conclusion. Immediately, he just publishes all the journals, etc., writing all his experiments as well as final discovery and the utility of the discovery. That's how all the PhD students continuously do researches. The other day I was feeling so bad when in one of the state, Andhra, somewhere, the PhD notifications have not come from 2 3 years. So the students who wanted to do research, they were not given an opportunity. Is it no? Caught up in mutual partying, bullying, and fighting. We are just not making use of the beautiful human resources that are there in our nation. The biggest positive in our nation is in the whole world, there are no great human resources as we have. And the worst thing again in our own nation is what? We are the ones who neglect the human resources maximum. The goodness, the intelligentsia, the ability, the capacities, talents, the mutual respect, the divinities that are there in भारतीय कहाँ है दूसरे लोगों में वो बेचारों को पता ही नहीं कुछ. But in India, the human resources are misused by individuals themselves. खाके पी के सोते रहते हैं, गप्पे मारते हैं, and the whole government also not, because they are busy in the maintaining their own parties, their own powers and position. By the way, I'm saying this because of the PhD students. PhD student is what? That the research orientation. As he does research and presents, in the same way, this Rishi has researched and presented. Now, the name of the Rishi is not given here peculiarly. In other places, the names are given. Mahashavasya Pravedayate. Then that Mahachamasya told to his disciple, Hej Prasina Yogya Upasva. Then in the next Anuvaka, when we see that Satyavit Satyavachara Atitara Tavayu Taponishta Paurushisti Swadhyaya Pravasneviti Nako Maudgalyaha. So this Nakaha, Ratitaraha, then Maudgalyaha, they are all the gurus, rishis, their names have come. Then comes the Trishankor Vedanuvachanam, the Trishanku Rishi, not that Trishanku who troubled the Brahma Vishwamitra and asked for the Swarga. वो तो राजा थे. This Trishanku is a rishi. Names came. Here the name is not mentioned. So to say that anybody who can contemplate, he can become like that. We have to become rishi for our own life to discover all the subtle principles of evolution. मेरा जीवन का मैं ही रिसर्चर बनना चाहिए, मेरे जीवन में मैं ही डिस्कवरर बनना चाहिए, मेरे जीवन का मुझे ही इम्प्लीमेंटर होना चाहिए, मेरे जीवन का फल सफलता मुझे ही पाना चाहिए. I have to do. Who else can do? Whoever have done, they have succeeded. So, etad adhividhaya rushihi avochat. And what did he say? After all his final results found and experimented, ek bar, do bar, teen bar, char bar, he said, Panktam va idagam sarvam. He said, Baba, everything is Panktam. What is the meaning behind, the big meaning, the sublime meaning, the expanded meaning, the beautiful meaning behind this simple looking sentence? Sentence looks to be very simple. What is said? Panktam va idagam sarvam. Or why sab kuch panktam hai. But the deeper meaning behind that is what? No thing in this world is isolated individual. All of them are working in mutual coordination with each other. That is what is recognition. As a unit, we are one. We are not individualized individuals separating from the total unit. As we told you again and again in examples, in countries, India like big ones, there are no two departments, any one of them totally separate from each other. You understand? I am in the town, city, in my own business, trading. I have nothing to do with the army. You cannot say that. Directly, there may not be any lava, devi, or lane and then between the army as your business. But mind you, if the army is not working at the borders, can the country be protected? Without that, will your business go on? Visualizing this very sublime existing connection between any two things is called as the Virat Rupa Darshan. It's called as Panthadarsanam. This is called Pantha Upasana. This way, a vision should come that all of us are connected to each other in one way or the other, in Vyavahara. And in the absolute reality, we are all one without second. That will be recognized only when at the Vyavahara level, we recognize our oneness because of some or the other reasons and dissolve our individualities. नहीं तो क्या होगा? The individuality holding will never allow us to evolve spiritually. Are you understanding it? The holding of myself to be an individuality with my own upadhis will never give me the desire or willingness or ability or capacity to understand, pursue and reach the higher sublime spiritual goals. That's what you see in Vyavahara. So फंसे हुए अपने खाने पीने सोने में. What is the meaning of all of that? They are caught up in your individuality. As long as they are in that, they will never come to class. And those who come to the class, why do they go in between? Because the individuality called them inside. They went. याद है? समझ रहे ना इस बात को इस तरह से. तो पांक्तम वाइदगम सर्वम. Then पांक्तेन एव पांक्तग्गस प्रणोति. So everything is panktam and every two panktams are spranoti, connected to each other. Panktena eva panktah spranoti. Means what? The inner three panktams are mutually connected to each other. Outer three panktams are mutually connected to each other. And inner outer are always in connection with each other. Therefore, each individual and each individual panktams and totality is surviving. Recognize this one and live life accordingly. What is the living life accordingly? At the level of total in the panktam, at the level of all panktams together. उस तरह से अपने दिमाग को बढ़ाना. Like when I am traveling on a road, Keep the entire traffic in mind and let the entire traffic should be safely reaching to the destination. Accordingly, drive your vehicle. That's called a Pankta Upasana. What is the selfish upasana? किसी को भी कुछ भी हो जाए, I'll go with my own speed. I'll overtake in the way whatever I want. I'll not follow any of the traffic rules. By because I'm son of a MLA or any traffic police. ट्रैफिक इंस्पेक्टर का पुत्र हूं मैं, ना मुझे कोई लाइसेंस की जरूरत है, ना मुझे कोई सेंस की जरूरत है. No, if that way we do, we become commit accidents. Anywhere it is so. And the small little isolated individuality, troubling the totality in others, himself suffering. Murak, same small individuality, when it starts to surrender to total, serve total, it expands to become total. This is how a small barrister can become the father of nation because his individuality is risen and identifying with the total nation. समझ में आ रहा है? पांक्तेन एव पांक्तग्ग स्पृणोतीति. This is what that Rishi said. So the Mahat Brahma, through the medium of the mighty number of Panktams, is functioning in this world, in and out, at every place. Thus, no individual is separate from the Panktam or the total. In the vision, we have to live. And in devotional language, when this type of vision comes, the love, the forgiveness, the acceptance, the tolerance, the understanding, the sacrifice, they all become effortless and natural. When they grow, all the negative qualities, which were nothing but, that what I say, that the dukkha giving all the dead matters, they all go away from our life. That is the joy. The joy is becoming absolutely pure on our emotions. Emotional purity comes only when we look from the total standpoint. And the emotional falling down happens because when we become selfish more and more. See, wife and husband, when they love each other, when they live for each other, what a beautiful love they have. The moment they start becoming main mera tu tera, you can see they fight so much. How painful it is. Then the proof is they are not able to live with each other. I can't live with you. Therefore, divorce. Is it not? Everybody is divorcing from the other person in today's life. Divorce in a big term I am using. The employee is divorcing from the company. The owner is divorcing from the employees. Everybody, the thought of can't live with others because of extreme ego and selfishness. Why all of that is coming? Because of non-understanding that I cannot be an individual isolated. मेरे को सबके साथ मिलकर ही करना है. इस बात को हजम नहीं कर रहे. And one of the culprit for this attitude is too much of money with everyone. Though it is a totally different topic, but little relevant, I'm just touching it. Because everybody has got their own money, therefore they think money is everything, therefore I don't want anybody. And what are they doing with the same money? Destroying only by misusing it. At that level of immaturity we have fallen as regard the understanding of the life and its beauty is concerned. We are working, we are earning money, we are getting all the objects, we are that way comfortable, but we are comfortably frustrated, comfortably miserable, comfortably destroyed, disturbed, agitated. What is the use of all that then? Please, very important. Our Rishi Munis, when they give us Vedantic Jnanam, in that the byproduct is the universal oneness, after which, by mutual cooperation, help with each other, entire being of all the universe are living a happy, loving life. That is called the outcome, the secondary byproduct of the spiritual vision. The primary is discovering the self, the truth, the reality, the absolute, the liberation, the moksha. Let us spend 2-3 minutes in this Bhashyam. What is that? कि एतद् एवं अधिविधाय परिकल्प्य ऋषिः वेदः एतद् दर्शन संपन्नः वा कश्चिद् ऋषिः अवोचत् उक्तवान्. So having visualized in this way the panktams that are working, the Rishi spoke. Now, even earlier also, One Rishi remembered the Mitra, Varuna, Adi are working outside and empowering the faculties. That Rishi gave a Shanno Mitra mantra. It can be the same Rishi or different Rishi. Whoever has given, the giver is called Rishi. Then the other Rishi understood the need of language and grammar. Therefore, he gave the Upasana of the Bhasha. Another Rishi visualized, or the same Rishi at another level visualized, the Samhita, the Sandhi between Sandhi, Sandhanam and all that. He gave that Upasana. Are you remember? We are just reminding what we studied. Another ऋषि said, यार सब मैं भूल रहा हूँ, कुछ याद तो होना चाहिए. मेन थिंग तो याद होना चाहिए. Who will give the yadu? Only the याद वाला Lord. Who is that? ओंकार. देखो ओंकार को give me the मेधा. Not only मेधा, फिर शरीर में विचेषणम जिह्वा में मधुमत्तमा करना. Then suddenly another Rishi looked at her. Yeah, I'm not able to do my spirituality because so much of debts I have, so much of obligations I have, so much of duties I have. How to clear all of them? He understood for 1 or 2 lives, when I live life of yajnam, all this will go away. How to do the yajna? You have to have the resources. How the resources will come with money. Therefore, pray to the Omkar Bhagwan to give all the wealth. With that wealth, do all the yajna and get rid of all the inner and outer obligations, bondages are the debts, etc. Therefore, all of them put together is life. This Taittiriya Upanishad, that way, if you have the time and vision to study, so sublime, so deeper, so all encompassing, all inclusive. The evolution which is to be done for every human being, all of those things are given in that. अब आपको दृष्टि होना चाहिए, इच्छा होना चाहिए उसको उस तरह से पढ़ते हुए समझने की. Then these are all the outer upasanas are taught. Then from this Panchamanavaka, the inner upasanas are taught. Vyahruti upasanas. Then Dharakasha Hrutsita, Hiranyagarbha in the form of Jiva upasana. Then the PAANKTHA. Every Rishi is visualizing and giving us step by step the higher and higher things. The final one here is, before the Omkara of Pranavapasana is, you tune with the Mahat Brahma through this process of Panktam. So what this Rishi say? He said, Kim iti aha. So that Rishi, what did he say? Panktam vai idam sarvam. Everything is Panktam. Second is Panktena eva adhyatmikena sankhya samanyat Panktam Bhashyam Sprunoti Balayati Purayati Ekatmataya Ubhalavate iti. Etat evam Panktam idam sarvam iti yo veda saha prajapatyatma eva bhavati iti arthaha iti saptamaha anuvakaha. So, what this Rishi do? So many things we can talk for hours together, but in 4 thoughts we will conclude. Thought 1, this Rishi was not sleepy like you and me. He was observant and contemplative, research oriented. Thus he did research. In his research, what did he discover? The 2, there is everything Panktam functioning in and out. Okay. Third thing he found was, be attentive. The next 3 things are important. The third thing he found was, every inner Panktam, be attentive, is supported by the outer Panktam. This is what he discovered. Third one. Fourth one, therefore he guided us, because every inner Panktam is guided or supported or blessed or empowered by the outer Panktam. Be attentive. It obviously, logically becomes obvious that the inner Panktams should be in line and in tune with the total outer Panktams, in understanding as well as in doing practically. This inner Panktam should never be in dissociation and isolation from the outer Panktam. That's the meaning of what he said. Panktena eva adhyatmikena sankhya samanyat Panktam bhakyam sprunoti balayati purayati ekatmataya upalabate iti. There is a very subtle thought it is here there. Very beautiful it is. If you are able to catch it, you are genius. The two-way traffic you should understand. What is the two-way? Unless the Bahya Panktams are there, the Antara Panktams cannot function. Point one. Point two, equally, without the Antara Panktam's contribution, the Bahya Panktams have no meaning. Is it not? This is the mutual end and then. Then we are at the Antarapanktam identification level. No? Therefore, it becomes our responsibility, therefore, to change our lifestyle from the selfishness to the Upasana level, where knowing that we, the inner Panktams, are survived by the outer Panktam, we have to utilize our inner Panktams in tuning with the outer Panktam, in serving the outer Panktam till the time that there is no difference within between the inner and outer panktam. That's what he says here. Eka atmataya upalabhate iti. दोनों के बीच में ऐसे तालमेल होना चाहिए कि that should, like the boss should give proper salary to everyone and everybody should work for the boss properly. Yesterday did we see that in that our morning class of Viduraniti? पुरुषेण अर्थः बलयति अर्थात जनः बलयति. Therefore they are complementary to each other. They were empowering both of them. Without the people employers employed, you cannot earn the money in company. Is it not? Without the money used for them as salary, they won't be there for you to work. Therefore, each one is valuable in both places. They have to be taken care. In other way, अगर पैसे नहीं दिया तो एम्प्लॉय लोग भाग जाते हैं. एम्प्लॉय लोग भाग जाते हैं तो कंपनी विल नॉट वर्क, पैसा नहीं आएगा. Negatively also, if one is given up, other goes. Positively, if you empower one, the other comes. In the same way, without outer panktam, the inner won't work. Therefore, it becomes obvious duty in the inner of the beauty for you and me for using the inner panktam for the sake of outer, keeping in tune with the outer. आउटर पांक्त को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करते हुए इनर पांक्तम का व्यवहार होना है. ऑन द अदर हैंड, इन हायर लेवल, द आउटर पांक्तम शुड ऑल इनर पांक्तम शुड ऑलवेज बी in the attitude of serving the outer. Then outer also will bless the inner. This is the main sentence. Rishi said, now you use your intellect to clearly understand what is the meaning of using the inner panktam of pancha pranas, panchendriyas, pancha dhatus in tune with the outer panktam of the bhuta panktam, devata panktam and loka panktam. और बाकी जितने भी है unsaid panktams are infinite. Everything is a panktam. A tree is a panktam in which the roots are there, the trunk is there, branches are there, leaves is the front fruits. And then entire garden is a panktam because there are the, what do you call, the flower giving trees are there, the fruit giving trees are there, the vegetable trees are there. Some trees are there only to give oxygen, some are there only useful as a wood. That is called the panktam. Like that, the water panktam, the ocean, the river, the lakes, the ponds and the wells. आप देखोगे ना तो हर जगह आपका दृष्टि पांगतम का हो सकता है. द फैमिली पांगतम, इज इट नॉट? द मदर, फादर, द चिल्ड्रन एंड ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स, हुएवर. आप चाहते हो ना, हर जगह पांगतम देख सकते. Is it not? On the road, the traffic police, the traffic signals, the going traffic, the coming traffic and the road. पांगतम. All of them are in communication with each other, in mutual contact or relation with each other. सब मिलकर ही हर एक इंडिविजुअल का मजा भी है ट्रैवल करने का और सबका मजा भी. Very sublime it is. So therefore, what is final here? Sankhya samanyat panktam bhashyam spurnoti balayati purayati ekatmataya balavadeti. Therefore, etad evam panktam idam sarvam itiyo veda. So therefore, the one who understands that the entire world is functioning because of mutual coordination with panktams, to such person, what is the Farashruti? Saha Prajapati Atma Eva Bhavati Tyartaha. He will slowly get promoted to the level of becoming one with the Prajapati. This is a new word. Prajapati ka ho, Mahat Brahma ka ho, Brahmadeva ka ho, Hiranyagarbha ka ho, all are one state of the individual identified with the total only is mentioned. पूरे समष्टि तादात्म्य उस तत्व को हिरण्यगर्भ महत ब्रह्म यहाँ प्रजापति कहते हैं. वो पद इनको मिलेगा. Slowly gradation में wherever he is promoted, he is recognizing outer and inner panktams, and he is serving the outer panktam with the inner panktam. He slowly gets promoted to become Prajapati. And what is the Prajapati? Every panktam is his. Through every panktam, he is serving the total and every individual in the total, and he is never involved in any one of them on his personal selfish basis. Like in many hotels, you see, those cooks, chefs, सारे बनाते हैं सुबह दोपहर शाम, वैरायटी ऑफ ऑर्डर्स कम दे गो ऑन मेकिंग, और उनमें से कुछ भी खाना वो नहीं खाते, वो खाते जो घर में पत्नी बना कर देती है. You understand? So too the Prajapati, Mahat Brahma, serves the total and serves individual, but he has no purpose of his own for himself. Serving them alone is his joy, his fulfillment. लाइक ए फादर, इन्होंने मेरे बच्चों को बड़ा किया, बड़ा है, उनको तो नौकरी दिला दी, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, बस मैं इस उनको उनका देखभाल करने में मैं खुश हूँ. ही इज एट द प्रजापति लेवल. So to the Guru, all disciples coming, they are taught all the disciplines of life, they are given the goal, they are shown the mean, they are made prepared, they are guided, they are freed from all their doubts and questions. Now each one is doing sadhana and growing. Guru Maharaj, aapko kya chahiye? Nothing doing. He is in the Prajapati level. In individual level, gaining is joy. In total level, giving is joy. So the one who starts giving starts becoming total. And the discovery of joy is maturity. If I discover joy in individuality, I'm at the lowest level. If I'm discovering joy in the higher total level, I am growing in my life. It is your choice. That possibility is there in us. अपने खुशगर्जी में खुश हो जाओ या सबके सेवा में खुश हो जाओ, आपके हाथ में है. That possibility we have to use and shift our attention from individual to total. This is called a Pantha Upasana. With this, the Saptamanuvaka discussing about Pantha is over. Everything we keep at the feet of our Rishi Muni Guru Devata, especially our Gurudev, and ask him to bless us, not only to theoretically understand, to become very pakka in theoretical understanding. May we all have the courage, wisdom, willingness, energy, time, and conveniences to do this sadhana and experience it. And I tell you, 5-10 साल हमको आध्यात्मिक वेदांत शास्त्र सुनकर समझने के लिए चाहिए. उसके बाद कम से कम 10-12 साल वो साधना को करते हुए अनुभव में जाने के लिए चाहिए. That way, at 25 years of our life, totally when we exclusively dedicate to spirituality, definitely without doubt, the higher, subtler experiences as promised by Vedanta or Shastra will come to us. And what can be a greater gain than that? है कि नहीं? नहीं तो हर क्षण हर दिन गुजरता ही रहेगा without doing anything spiritual and doing everything contradictory, by being worldly, indulgent person and creating more and more samsara of this life and also the lives to come. It's not intelligence, it is not so great. Okay. Now today is Puja Gurudev's Aradhana Divasa. Therefore, the 8th Anuvaka in which Pranava Upasana is there, we will chant and invoke his blessing so that tomorrow we will study it thoroughly. Today, Parayanam we offer to him. Tomorrow we study every sentence. Clear? Because Puja Gurudev's just now we chanted morning the Chinmaya Ashtakam. In that the first mantra and the last mantra, दोनों में we are told Puja Gurudev is the one who experienced the essence of Omkar. Here also is Om mantra. Okay? It starts only like this. Omkara Suna Makarandara Sampibantam Adhyatma Brungam. Puja Gurudev is a spiritual bhavara. The one who has drank the nectar of the flower called as Omkara. ओंकार नामक सूना मीन्स प्रसूना मीन्स फ्लावर का, मकरंद का मतलब ब्रह्मानुभव को, पिबंतम पिए हुए, भृंगम ये भृंग है पूज्य गुरुदेव. ओंकार सून मकरंद रसम पिबंतम अध्यात्म भृंगम अवनीदल भाग्य श्रृंगम आनंद पूर्णमतिम अप्रतिम प्रभावम श्री चिन्मयम गुरुधरम ऊर्ध्वम. In the same way, last one, साक्षात्कृत प्रणव सारम उदार भावम. He himself experienced the sara of the pranava and udara bhavama, that pranava anubhava, pranava sara, Brahma Tattva he has spread in the entire world through the teaching of the Shastras, Prasthanatrayam. That is our Puja Gurudev. So our tribute to him, our service to him, our gratitude to him, our pranams to her only when we study Shastra. Therefore, let us chant this mantra. Wonderful. Omiti Brahma, Omiti Dagam Sarvam, Omityetadano Krutihasmava, Apyo Shravaya Tyashravayanti, Omiti Samani Gayanti. ओगं शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगंसन्ति ओमित्यध्वर्यो प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानीति ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति सर्वं गुरुदेव समस्त ऋषिमुनि गुरुदेवता चरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु ओम 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 ओम. Let's extend our gratitudes, the entire Guru Parampara, Guru Tattva, especially to our Puja Gurudev. Let us ardently seek their blessings, pray to them to be with us in this most tough spiritual path, protect us from falling, empower us to walk thoroughly the path in spite of all inner and outer obstacles. Please remember, these devatas and gurus are eternally there, only to help us, guide us, bless us, protect us, empower. Only thing is, we have to tune to them with Shraddha and Bhakti and invoke their blessings. We can see every miracle in life happens of freedom from all dukkha and bondage and the joy of liberation. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarashibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namam Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu Sri Gurudevaya Namaha. Thank you, friends. Give me 10 more minutes. I want to see some more shlokas of Viduraniti today. थैंक यू फॉर योर बीइंग विथ मी. और 11 बजे तेलुगु क्लासेस ऑफ विष्णु सहस्रनामम फॉलोड बाय दृग्दृश्य विवेकम. Evening also Bhagavad Mahapuranam, beautiful technique guidance by God Krishna to do his Upasana. And today in Valmiki Ramayanam we are seeing Sri Rama Bhagwan's Mahaprasthana. And the beautiful coincidence is Puja Gurudev when he was born 1916, some of them say it was Ramanavami. And in our Ramakatha, Sri Rama going to Mahaprasthanam on the day when Puja Gurudev also went for Mahaprasthanam. It has just become like that, coincidental. So that topic of Valmiki Ramayana में होगा, अवश्य आप सब आइए. Evening time is